Mass shootings have become far too common there in the United States, more than in any other country in the world. Why is this the case?
I think it's a very challenging narrative that we're managing here in the United States in connection with mass shootings. And it really echoes the sentiment that more needs to be done in connection with who acquires a firearm and how policing is prescribed in connection with interdicting these violent acts. This has been ongoing. The numbers are going up. And what we're doing is not working. We need to do something that prohibits people that are mentally ill from coming in possession of these weapons. Unfortunately, we have 360 million people in the United States, and we have 400 million guns. We have more guns than people. So when you look at that equation, it's clear that we need to do more, and it hasn't been happening.
And every time there's a shooting, debate on gun control comes up, and yet somehow the country cannot come to a consensus on that. Why is it such a polarizing issue?
Well, I think the challenge with gun control is when we look at the cities that have the greatest propensity for gun violence, such as New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles, you have the greatest spectrum of gun control in those cities. So it's clear that the gun control has not worked. So we need to move forth to an agenda that works. And a lot of it will evolve around fortifying soft targets. When I say fortifying soft targets, as we see with this school recently, we want to put in greater, I should say, like walls, infrastructure that would support protecting those residents or the pupils in that school from an invader coming into that school and creating havoc. That's one perspective. In addition to that, we just have certain people that shouldn't have firearms. And I think that has been the key concern that hasn't been effectively addressed in our Congress.
President Biden says he is, and I quote, sick and tired of this violence. Can this latest shooting galvanize Americans to act on gun restrictions?
I don't think that that's something that's going to happen because we've had gun violence or mass shootings, mass murders that have happened in the past, and nothing was done. I also believe that the gun manufacturers need to shoulder a level of accountability, and that's something that hasn't been introduced in the equation in the past. So when you look at it from the perspective of holding the gun manufacturers accountable, not having firearms in the possession of the mentally ill, and police departments enforcing the laws that are on the books, I think that's the culmination of the lens that we need to look through in terms of reducing the gun violence.